In this video, I'm going to walk you through a full tutorial of Countfire takeoff software that helps you automate how you count symbols for your estimating projects. Section 1. Creating a new project. As you come into Countfire, you'll see a dashboard with all of your company's projects. They are automatically ordered by the newest project first. However, you can change this by clicking the column headings or filtering your projects here. To create a new project, you can click the orange button and enter the title and any building type as necessary. This will then take you to your projects page. This is an easy way to manage your project as a whole. You can also assign different statuses to your project so that you get a better understanding of what stage it is at and what needs to be completed. Simply click on the orange button or here to create your takeoff. It will then prompt you to create a new discipline. Your aim is to group all of the drawings together that have similar symbols. For example, all of your lighting drawings into a lighting discipline. Once your disciplines have been created, you can drag and drop your PDFs into the boxes under the correct headings. As you can see here, there is an upload progress indicator to show when your drawings have been successfully uploaded. Once uploaded, a thumbnail of the PDF can be seen. Here, it is important to check that all the drawings are in the correct orientation. You can see here that drawing 4 needs to be rotated. If you click on the 3 dots next to the drawing name, you can rotate the drawing clockwise or anti-clockwise. If all of the drawings are not in the correct orientation, you can bulk rotate the drawings within your discipline by clicking the 3 dots on the side of the discipline heading and rotate the drawings here. Another thing that can be done on the takeoff page is to edit the drawing names. The drawing name comes from the PDFs themselves, however, can be edited. If you do not want to edit these, you can add an additional drawing description. Both of these will appear on the Excel spreadsheet. All titles and headings within Countfire are listed alphanumerically. Therefore, it is best practice to keep all of the titles in the same format. For example, if I change this title to Level 1, it will be sent to the bottom of the list. If I change it back, then it will be in the correct order. As you can see, I have uploaded all the drawings with the correct naming conventions. This makes it easier to view the final quantities in the Excel spreadsheet. If you have similar symbols on your projects, you can copy items from previous projects or a template project within the takeoff page. All you need to do is click the 3 dots on the right-hand side of the discipline heading and select Copy Items. In here, you can choose which takeoff and discipline to copy items from. Once you choose which items you wish to copy over, you can click Import Items. To start working on your takeoff, simply click the drawing thumbnail. Section 2. Shortcuts within Countfire. As I work through the takeoff, you may notice that I use various keyboard shortcuts. Using these will help you get the most out of Countfire and work at speed. A couple to familiarize yourself with include C for Create, S for Select, B for Background, A for Save, and T for Toggle All. You can find a full list of shortcuts in our Help Center article, entitled Keyboard Shortcuts. Section 3. Selecting and counting symbols. The first thing you want to do when you open a drawing is to turn the background off. This helps make clean selections, which in turn speeds up your takeoff. If the background does not turn off using this button, you can define the background and choose what you need to turn off. Next, you need to create your symbol descriptions. Simply press Create and enter the name needed. You can then press Enter or click away from the box. Countfire will automatically choose the symbol color for you. However, if you wish to change this, you can do this here. You can either choose a specific color or randomize the color picker. Once you have created the description, you can make your selection. Once I click the Select button, my mouse cursor changes to a crosshair. This means I am in selection mode and cannot move around the drawing. If I click it again, I am in navigation mode and can move around the drawing. Now I can select Type A. All you need to do is left-click and drag a box over the symbol. As you can see here, just by circling one of the symbols, Countfire has automatically looked through the drawing as well as other drawings within this discipline, and has counted each instance of this symbol. You can see here that it has counted 125 type A's on this drawing alone, just in a second or two, whereas counting each of these manually will have likely taken hours. Sometimes there are symbols that are too close together to make a clean selection. However, it is quick and easy to edit any elements out that you do not want. For example, if I select this emergency fitting, I have accidentally included part of the switch. To edit this out, you open the edit window. There are two ways of editing a symbol. First, you can left click on the white area and hold the left button down as you drag over the elements that you do not wish to include. Once you save the edit, those elements will be taken out. The second way is to deselect all. Now you can left click on the elements that you want to include in this symbol. Again, once you press Save Edit, you are left with a clean selection and more matches. To make it easier to see what is left on your drawing, you can use the Toggle All tool. This turns off all of the symbols that have previously been selected, giving you an efficient way of checking your drawings as you work on them. As you work through your takeoff, you may have a large list of symbols. You can use the grouping tool to make it easier to organize. You can create these before the symbol descriptions or after and drag and drop the descriptions into the groups. In the Choose tab, you have a list of drawings within each discipline. You can see here that as I have started working on this drawing, the circle has changed to amber. Once you are happy you have finished the drawing, you can click on the amber circle or press space and it will change to green. This will also be reflected on the takeoff page and gives you a better overview of what drawings have been completed and what needs to be done. To move on to the next drawing, simply click the drawing name. Section 4. Using quantity multipliers. Sometimes a symbol can have a note calling for multiples of that symbol. For these instances, we can use quantity multipliers. As you can see here, there is a note calling for 6 times these symbols. You can create a drawing description and make a selection for this, including the note, so that it is a unique symbol. You will now need to add the multiplier in the edit window. Here, you can change the multiplier to 6, and once you press Save Edit, it will times the quantity out automatically. Section 5. Linear Measurements. To create linear measurements, you need to navigate to the Measure tab. The first thing you need to do here is set the scale. I can see on this drawing that the scale is 1 to 100 at A1. When you click inside the scale box, the paper size is shown on the drawing. A quick check shows that this drawing paper size is correct. Once the scale is entered, you can create linear lengths. You can create linear measurement descriptions the same way as the Count tab. Once you press Create, the first measurement will be a length, as you can see here. To create the length, press Select and simply left-click on the starting point. This is a freehand tool. However, if you hold the Shift key, it will snap to a straight line. Left-click again to go around the corners. Right-click or left-click again on the final point to finish the measurement. If a measurement has a multiplier on it, we can use the measurement multiplier. For this example, it is asking for 2 times the run of cable tray. After making the linear measurement, you can add a multiplier of 2 here. As you can see, it has multiplied it out automatically. Section 6. Manually counting items. Another thing that can be done in the Measure tab is creating manual points. These can be used to count bends in containment or adding other additional points to your takeoff. As I press Create, it automatically chooses length. However, you can change this to a point. After pressing Select, you just simply have to click on the drawing where you want the manual points to go. Section 7. Calculating coverage area. You can set a coverage radius within Countfire to make sure that the layout of the symbols covered everything that is needed. For example, if you need to put a coverage radius on the PIRs, first, you have to make sure that the scale is set in the Measure tab. You can then add the coverage radius by using the 3 dots beside the heading and entering the meterage. You can then see here which parts of the drawing are not covered. If you need to add additional points, you can then head to the Measure tab, create an additional PIR, and add the radius, and place it on the drawing where you need them to go. To turn this coverage radius off, simply go back and change the radius to 0. Section 8. Area Measurements. Also within the Measure tab, you can measure an area. Once you press Create, simply change it to an area. In the same way as you draw the linear measurements, this is a freehand tool, but if you hold the Shift, it will snap to a straight line. Section 9. Zones. Zones can be used to split or break quantities into separate columns on your Excel spreadsheet, or omit anything that you do not want to count, for example, drawing legends. To create zones, you navigate to the Zone tab. Here, you can add any zone descriptions, and draw a zone around everything you want to count within that heading. Zones are only taken into account after you process your takeoff, and the final quantities will be available in your Excel spreadsheet. If you have multiple zone areas, it is important to pay attention to the heading order. If you create the zone for the corridor before creating the zone for the overall area, the corridor zone will be overridden. However, all you need to do is drag the zone heading above the drawing area heading. This will now be counted and split out on your Excel spreadsheet. Zones can also be copied from the Choose tab by pressing Copy Zones. Zones will only be copied if there are not other zones within the discipline. This stops previous work from being overridden. If you have a drawing that is a typical floor, for example, floor 1 to 7, you can use a zone multiplier to times this out. You can add the multiplier by using the 3 dots next to the heading name and adding the multiplier here. Once you process your takeoff, the final quantities will show in your Excel spreadsheet and the multiplier will be shown on there. Section 10. Processing your takeoff. Before processing your takeoff, you can do an initial accuracy check by hiding all of the match symbols. You can do this by toggling all the symbols off and see if there's anything that you missed. Once you are happy with your takeoff, you can navigate to the Choose tab and press Process Takeoff. You can see down here when the takeoff has been processed. Once it is complete, your files will be ready to download from the takeoff page. Section 11. Checks for accuracy. There are many ways Countfire ensures accuracy for your takeoff. In your outputs, you will receive a check sheet for each of your disciplines. Here, you can easily see if there are any messy selections or any symbols under the incorrect headings. You can also review the drawings. For every drawing you put into Countfire, you get 2 out. The first is a PDF with all of your symbols highlighted. Second is a PDF with all of the symbols you have counted removed. This is a good way to see if you have missed any symbols. If you notice any mistakes or any symbols you have missed, you can go back into the app, edit what is needed, and reprocess the takeoff. Section 12. Using your Excel spreadsheet. After completing all of your checks, you can be confident that your Excel spreadsheet is accurate. In here, you will find your final quantities from your takeoff. The first sheet is an overview, showing you the disciplines and how many drawings in each. Second is a drawing list. On this sheet, you have a list of all the drawing titles. It will also show any additional drawing descriptions you have added on the takeoff page. You will then have a different sheet for each of your disciplines. It is split up so that there is a column for each drawing. Under that, there is a column for each of the zones on that drawing, and the quantities will be split out. Each row shows the different symbols and the quantity on each drawing, with an overall quantity at the end. In this column, you can see we have added a zone multiplier, hence the quantities are in red. Section 13. Revised drawings. Occasionally, you will receive a revised set of drawings. The easiest way to overcome this is to drag and drop the updated drawing into the discipline on the takeoff page. Once you have done your initial checks and reprocessed your project, you will have a separate column on your Excel spreadsheet with the revised drawing quantities. Section 14. Getting help. Countfire offers high levels of support throughout your takeoff process. There are multiple ways to find information on any part of Countfire. This includes help boxes that you can toggle on and off using keyboard shortcut H. If you have forgotten how to use a feature, for example, quantity multipliers, you can type it in here, and a Help Center article will guide you through the process. If you wish to talk to someone in our support team, you can ask us a question here, and we will help you with your query. Alternatively, you can email the support team at support@countfire.com. To get started and to try all of the takeoff features that Countfire has to offer, you can request a free trial at countfire.com/get-started.